Hi everyone, welcome to Connecther's International Day of the Girl film screenings. My name is Amanda and I'm a filmmaker and a junior at NYU.
Hello everyone, my name is Nondumiso, also known as Nomi, coming to you from Johannesburg, South Africa. With that said, Connecther Rere.
Hello everyone, I'm Jason Ifemi Akinajani from Ibadan, Nigeria. Akin kú ayọ̀ ọdún ọmọbìnrin ní gbogbo àgbáyé láti Connecther.
I'm Mary Olmoran, Kenya. Happy International Day of the Girl from Connecther.
Hello, I am Jati Shara, a filmmaker of Connecther from Democratic Republic of Congo. Bienvenue à la projection des films de Connecther à l'occasion de la Journée mondiale de la fille.
My name is Tinotinda Chipendo. I stay Harare, Zimbabwe. Tinokuchingamidza muchirongwa chinoitika pasi rese chemwanasikana weConnecther.
Hi, my name is Tapiwa Gambura and I'm from Harare, Zimbabwe. Ndikumirira neConnecther ndichiti makorokoto ezuva remwanasikana.
Hi everyone, my name is Bobby and I want to welcome you to Connecther's International Day of the Girl film screening.
Welcome to the Connecther's International Day of the Girl Global Film Screening. My name is Suzette Bagrasa. I am the producer of Child Marriage, Robbed Me of My Childhood.
I am so excited to screen my films, Vudi, A Hair Affair, and Not Your Bride, A Woman's Constitution. The first film explores femininity and beauty in an African context and redefining those expectations of women. My second film is about the woman who changed the constitution to raise the legal age of child marriage.
So my film, Make Me Divine, is centered around the voices of Black women and Black girls. I feel that it's essential to have Black women and Black girls be the center of their own conversations, so that way we can control the narrative. I believe that it's really important for Black women and girls to be able to come to a space and view content that makes them feel safe and secure. So my film, Make Me Divine, talks about beauty standards, hair care, and general feelings of discomfort that come with being a Black woman in America.
It was really important for me to make Love You Forever because I really wanted to tell a personal and specific story because I know those are the kinds of stories that the most people can relate to. And I think it's so important to celebrate and center around Black women's voices, especially during this time.
And I would just like to say, dream big, continue to dream big, and your dreams are valid.
To all my filmmakers out there, keep creating and keep being an accurate representation of yourselves.
I wish you a happy International Day of the Girl, and please keep dreaming and believing because we can change the world.
Hi, my name is Yarland Daniels, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to Connecther's International Day of the Girls Global Film Screening. Now, this is a critical moment in time as it relates to race. We saw with the murder of George Floyd in May of 2020, we saw protests in 50 countries around the world. People standing in solidarity against racism and against anti-Blackness. And this is important because it reminds us all that racism is not an American problem, but racism and anti-Blackness is a global problem. Just as racism is a global problem, so is the inequitable treatment of women. According to statistics from the United Nations, 60% of the world's chronically hungry people are women and girls. 2/3 of the world's illiterate population are women. Women consistently earn less than men. Women have lower life outcomes because of reduced access to healthcare. So what happens then when we overlay the factors of race and gender? What happens when we use intersectionality to think about what happens when you combine the two? We find that Black women across the world have unique challenges and burdens that they bear. Black women face struggles, and many of them you will see played out in the films that you'll shortly view. These challenges include, but are not limited to, European standards of beauty that cause psychological harm. You will see child marriage. You will see colorism, sexual exploitation, mental health issues, poverty, increased death during childbirth, physical violence. And we'll also in these films introduce you to concepts that you may not have considered, such as sexual and human trafficking. And also, Black women deal with the adultification of Black girls, which is this notion that Black girls are not considered innocent and are viewed much older than their peers, and as a result, are treated much more harshly for similar actions by authorities in schools and in law enforcement. Now, it would be wrong to assume that the life of a Black woman is only filled with burden. Black women are so much more than that. Black women are the spirit, the life, the joy, the moral consciousness of their families, their communities, their countries. Black women have and continue to succeed in whatever endeavors they choose. Black women have thrived in politics, in culinary arts, in literature, in math, and in science, and as athletes and as performers. Black women have left their mark on the world. Black women are a force. It is important that we remind ourselves and that we teach young women both parts of this story. The story of oppression and the story of triumph and success, because both are true. So to help understand both of these narratives, we offer these films. We share these stories to educate you because we know that we can only change that which we understand. We share these stories to compel you to action because problems can only be solved when we are all working together. And we share these stories with a message. To the Black women and girls watching the films in this collection, I say to you this: sit with your sisters. Sit with your sisters in their struggle, no matter where in the world they may be. Sit with them in love and in truth. Remember, as women, as Black women, we need one another. We are the ones we've been waiting for. A group of women who love and support one another can change any situation, can conquer any problem. So love one another, but also love yourselves fiercely. To my non-Black women friends who are watching these films, I offer you this: be open, be loving, be kind, be inclusive. Find ways that your work for equal rights for women means that no woman is left behind. Resist the temptation with all your might to simply create opportunities that might position you closer to the patriarchal power structure. But understand at a very deep level that reform for all of us, is required to change the world. So with that, on behalf of Connecther and Harriet Speaks, we welcome you and we thank you for watching.
I strive for perfection. Ever since I was a little girl, I knew I had to be like the women I see on TV. Tall, thin but not too thin. Be able to fill out your clothes, but don't you dare gain too much weight, otherwise you're undesirable. I remember when I was in middle school, every night I used to pray for the perfect body, hoping that one day God would have mercy on me and bless me with the body I believed I was meant to have. I wanted hips and a full figure. I didn't want to be just me. I wanted to be the girl who stood out. I wanted the other barely pubescent boys in my school to chase after me, like they chased after the other girls. But unfortunately for me, my genetics failed me. No hips and no boys. Not only was I basically shaped like a cereal box, but I was Black, with a nose a little too wide and lips too full. My hair didn't blow in the wind like the other girls. Mine was stiff, and I didn't stand a chance.
I will be playing a medley with It's a Grand Old Flag, Yankee Doodle Boy, and Give My Regards to Broadway.
The problem with society is that we start grooming girls to be perfect from birth. We bombard them with images and expectations, not even giving them a chance to grow into their own individual, be their own person. Does it ever alarm anyone when a 5-year-old starts calling themselves fat, or ugly? Why is it normalized that children can't be children anymore? Little black girls grow up thinking that it is okay to be sexualized from an early age. Put on a skirt too young and suddenly you're being fast. Your body develops too early and now automatically it's your fault that creepy old men are trying to talk to you from in front of the corner store. When is enough enough? The misrepresentation of black girls in media has always been prevalent. First we were Mammy and Jezebel and Sapphire, and now we're on reality TV. Black girls don't get to live their lives the way they should. Everything is an issue. You got a relaxer, you're trying to be white. Coarse natural hair, you don't take care of yourself. Braids, ha, now you're ghetto. Weave, just give it up. This is what they all say, but why can't I just live? With the climate we're living in today, it is almost impossible to not compare yourself to every image we see. Try this hair product and that one. Your hair still isn't shiny enough. It doesn't have enough volume. Now try this one. Your skin isn't clear enough? This skincare line will surely do the trick. Nope, not good enough. Here's another. And it's a vicious cycle. But how does it end? With the knowledge that whoever you are is enough. Yes, I know. Easier said than done. Trust me, been there, done that. In the United States of America, Eurocentric beauty standards are ideal. It is what we are told to strive for. And when we don't meet these expectations, we are left feeling not smart enough, thin enough, worthy enough. When we as humans gain the knowledge that not everything is black and white, that beauty does not have a right and a wrong, then we grow. We are born into our bodies. We start as a blank canvas and we mold them into what we believe we are or should be. If augmenting your body is the course you take, then great. Hopefully you do it for yourself and not for the approval of others. Our bodies are ours, no one else's. Nourish them, refresh them, appreciate them. We only have one body, and this journey of love and acceptance is never over. We just need to have the power to keep moving forward.
It all depends on you. Ooh, you can do what you want to. Go ahead. It all depends on you.
I always believed that my mother was a superhero, immune to snotty noses, the flu, and everything in between. But after years of withstanding ailment, one day my mother wasn't immune. One day there was a shift in my world that rivaled that of the tectonic plates. My mother was my world. The shift occurred in her mind, and it crushed the woman who once read to me.
I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby will be.
The shift set up camp in her mind and overstayed a welcome that was never extended. Maybe it would be less painful if it was physical, because behind those same deep brown eyes was someone I didn't know. Something in my mother's brain told her that she shouldn't be here anymore. Sometimes here meant our home, and sometimes it meant on this earth. At first I panicked when she didn't come home every night. Then I worried. Then I prayed. And then I gave up hope. Saltwater-saturated tears found solace on my cheeks because I could no longer find solace in my mother. A cobwebbed crevice in my brain has been home to "I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I'm living, my baby you'll be," for over a decade. And up until the shift, its meaning, unconditional love, is the glue that made it stick. I questioned the most unwavering truth in my life, my mother's love for me. How could my mother say she doesn't want me anymore? Leave for days on end and check herself into a psychiatric ward without so much as a phone call? If unconditional love was true, how could this be my reality? Maybe "I'll love you forever" had an expiration date typed in the fine print that nobody ever reads. Or maybe I just didn't understand the essence of unconditional love. There's the love, and there's the possessor of the love, and there's the unconditionality. The love is unconditional, but the possessor is not. In the book we read, the son grew up, moved across town, and had a child of his own to whom he recited that line. But late at night, he drove to his mother and whispered,
I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be.
What can you tell us about sex trafficking, just off topic?
As in the definition?
Yeah, just what anything you know. Yeah, anything you know about it.
That it's a prolific problem that is an issue that doesn't necessarily get enough attention, but is affecting young women's lives. And I don't know if it's actually a women-only issue, but throughout the world, probably 10 to 18, 20, 25.
I don't know. I guess I don't think about it that often.
Immigrants,
yeah,
poor
immigrants.
people that can be taken advantage of.
I definitely think of poor countries. I think of Eastern Europe. I think of, South America, Mexico.
Thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of people fall victim to it every year here. It's unfortunate, but hopefully it's something that can be fixed.
For most people, you never consider having to exchange sex in order to get your basic needs of life. It's not an option.
So commercial sexual exploitation occurs when anything of value, like shelter, money, of course, drugs, is exchanged for a commercial sex act. That can be sex, that can be sensual massage, stripping, exotic dancing, pole dancing, phone sex, hotlines, anything like that. And commercial sexual exploitation is harmful because it distorts, it exploits, it abuses our innate need for love and belonging.
You wonder if you're going to make a mistake. The violence by men who seek to purchase paid sex from women, they're becoming increasingly more violent. But the role, I think, of women today is changing. A lot of people think of an exploiter or a pimp in a certain fashion.
I had a friend who I worked with who was trafficked to Bangkok, Thailand from Uzbekistan. And at one point she was offered to become what they call there a mama-san, which is basically a trafficker, a controller is another word they use.
Would you believe me if I said I was a pimp? Would you believe me if I told you that it was very easy for me to walk into a mall and offer young girls a music video?
And she goes, Courtney, I don't want to do it, but I don't want to keep having to do this dirty work. And I told her, I said, I don't want you to do it, but I don't blame you if you do. Because to be the exploiter is better than being the exploited. Again, these are women who have good hearts. They know right from wrong. They know that they shouldn't be doing it. But when it comes down to, I have to survive, they'll start making decisions that they wouldn't normally make.
There was a need in my house. There was a lack of food, a lack of clothing, a lack of love. So it caused me to be vulnerable. A lot of times we look for pimps and johns to be in a car or some type of transportation, and they look a certain kind of way, and they're out luring girls. For me, I always said that deprivation was my pimp.
We consider the issue of human trafficking like in the basic laws of economics. If you take away the demand for a product, the supply will go down. No buyers, no business.
And so to look at it holistically, we need to address it in 4 ways. One is through prevention, intervention, restoration, and education. So prevention would be preventing individuals from entering the sex industry, as well as preventing people from buying sex or being a part of the demand. Intervention would be outreaches like what we do here. We do Princess Night, we do Encounter, where we go into strip clubs, brothels, streets, motels, and build relationships with men and women who are working in the sex industry.
I was in court one day, and a young girl came through, and she was identified as a prostitute. And she was being sentenced based on her lifestyle. But the guy who committed the crime against her, he wasn't being charged. So the courts decided to do something about that because they didn't like the way legislative was going against the children. And that's when I realized at that moment as a grown woman that I was really a victim.
It's my hope that we not only will create a space where kids will feel safe to disclose that abuse, but I hope that we can create a world where law enforcement responds, our prosecutors respond, our child welfare system responds, our school system responds, and everybody recognizes that it's not this child's fault, it's not the victim's fault, it's not the woman's fault, it's not the trans woman's fault. When people tell me that we're never going to end this, I tell people that it was a few short years ago where people who looked just like I look had to sit in the back of the bus. It was a few short years ago when people who look like I look were not allowed to get an education. I don't sit at the back of the bus, and I am very well educated. And if we can do that in these short amount of years, then I am confident that we can end human trafficking.
Kilon mu pase vonje ki kapafe difficulté dispare Kilon mu pase vonje ki kapafe difficulté dispare Di lo he vonje Di lo he vonje
Sofni, Nathalie, Catherine, Zela, Yasmin. Mwen kon tande ap di, moun mwa depi yo mette yo nan chak chabon ya van yo, bagay yo bak kawe.
Mwen kon tande ap di, moun noa rale marigwen. Mwen tande yo kon ap jwe chabon, epi yo kon jwe moun nan noe.
Yo kon ap di yo li gon koule noa chabon, ba sa kon ya, kede pa fwa moun kon gen yon vie ide nan tet li, la to kou la nan marché, la achete pile crème pour le dos et pour autant.
Mwen kon tande ap di ko sa, moun let sou kwa la, ou ba yi rasou.
Yo kon di moun ki noa ou la machin chabon, puis yo ba pou yalbe, yo manke foubi, yo ba lo mal voun wè, ou led.
On a farouche di moun noa se bet yo rale marigwen. Toujou ba moun farouche.
Mwen ap gade nan video mwen ou se grimel, mwen kon gade pou, epi pou mwen ap gade grimel yo, men bakon bay tek mwen ekle tout sa.
Mwen senti mwen paske pou koule rouge la mwen nan video. Mwen baga se zouman reme yo an pil paske yo gen bel koule.
Li paske mba rouge.
Sa jen senti mwen ke valeur nan sosyete ya.
Kilon moun, pase bonje, ki kapap fe dificulte dispare. Kilo e bonje.
Pepa isi an li men se koule noa ki pou li. Fon nou pa ignore paske se pa nou ye.
Le yo kon di yo pa ame koule yo kon di mbwa duko mdi yo non, pinga yo duko pou yo weta koule yo a duko pa bon. Le yo duko yap di me fok yo.
Mari mi, ma preta ve koule bouti bon nou.
Bouti ki ba ou bel koule a men. Bouti ba mouti koule.
Reta koule ya. Ta fok pi.
Koulem, se fiyatem, se dimitem.
Pase bonje, ki kapap fe dificulte dispare. Kilon moun, pase bonje, ki kapap fe dificulte dispare. Kilo e bonje, se li men se li bonje. Nou tou se vite li. Se se vite li, epi nou tou, se sou komadman li nou ye.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Connecther's International Day of the Girl Global Film Screening. My name is Yolanda Lee Conyers, and I am Lenovo's Chief Diversity Officer and President of the Lenovo Foundation. We are here to raise awareness about gender barriers and encourage women to study and pursue careers in technology and STEM fields. You know, this mission is very personal to me. I'm an engineer by training and discovered my love for math and science in high school. In college, I found that in addition to being one of the only Black students, I was also one of the only females in my computer science studies. Increasing the diversity of students and professionals in STEM fields is critical. At Lenovo, we operate under the mission of providing smarter technology for all. Whether it's helping fight climate change with a supercomputer, destroying cancer with precise real-time feedback in the operating room, or feeding future generations through artificial intelligence, we're building smarter solutions for things that matter. But we cannot build a smarter world unless the engineers behind these emerging innovations are bringing in diverse perspectives, experiences, and insights. When technology is not inclusive, the ramifications are real. We've witnessed mistakes on race and people misclassified when facial recognition software lacks data and utilizes human bias. To be the best we can be, we must do everything we can to ensure people from all backgrounds are involved in the conversation. We hope these Connect Her short films inspire you and spark the conversation. Please stay involved with these issues and become powerful advocates for women and girls everywhere. The future depends on you.
These ladies are more like a rare species. They're in the top 12% of female engineers at Andela, in the top 7% of women engineers in Nigeria, and in the top 12% globally. They are defying societal norms and clearing doubts about their abilities by pursuing careers in the male-dominated field of engineering.
I also remember one of my friends, then friends, telling me that he would actually die the day he sees me write code for an actual company. Yeah, so this is what that did for me. I was angry initially, but then I turned that anger into motivation, and I wanted to prove him wrong. And I've been doing that all these years.
A major factor fueling this phenomenon is a societal stereotype that some careers are just not cut out for women.
When I finished school, everyone was quick to suggest, okay, why don't you take a catering course or go to a tailoring school? And not that those are bad choices, but whenever I think about those things these days, I think to myself, what about, other career choices, other career paths like DevOps, what I do, like machine learning, cloud architecture? These are all valid paths that a lady can take, but society has placed a limitation or a stereotype that, there are these feminine career paths that a lady should pursue.
Gender imbalance in engineering also has its roots in the low enrollment of women in science, technology, engineering and mathematics subjects, also known as STEM. President of the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, APWEN, says more females would blaze trails in science if they are introduced to STEM from the primary education level.
We've identified the gap that not so many of the female read engineering to start with. And to encourage the women to read engineering, we have to first of all encourage them to do what? To read STEM. To read STEM subjects, that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. If you don't get them to read STEM, to be interested in STEM subjects in lower classes, you can never produce engineers in future.
If the gender gap is to close soon, the onus is also on tech firms to hire and nurture more female engineers, like what Andela is doing with its all-female cycle.
This program is pretty much one that allows a cycle for just female, us actually calling out, there's a call for application actually goes out and then says, oh, we're hiring just female for this particular cycle, as the case is.
A 2018 World Economic Forum report says it will take 108 years to achieve gender parity. But with steps like marketing STEM to girls and changing societal mindsets that girls can be anything they want to be, it will only be a matter of time before women close the gap. Anetta Felix, TV 360, Nigeria.
Being a woman means being strong.
Being a woman is difficult.
Being a woman means being whatever you want to be as a woman. You can do whatever you want to do as a woman.
It's empowering. It's great. I like it.
Being a woman means being everything.
Peyton, you were put on this earth for reasons you may not understand right now. But you were put here to inspire, to encourage, and to ensure that a new change will come. You will forever be remembered. People will be chanting your name for years to come. You will be regarded as a hero. But with any heroic tale comes struggle and conflict. And your path to greatness will not be one without them. Society will try to conform you and turn you into something you're not. You may feel tempted to go along with what everyone else is doing, but I beg of you to stay strong and powerful. Times will get tough and you will feel alone in this world. I cannot go through the fight for you, but if you keep me in your heart, you shall be strong. There will be times when you want to give up, but just remember, you are not doing this just for yourself. It's much bigger than you. The darkest hour shall pass, and you will triumph. And when you are triumphant, run, Peyton. Run like your life depends on it. Don't stop. Run. Your journey will never stop. Trouble will always try to enter into your life. But you know you're special, Peyton. You're smart. You're beautiful. And you are courageous. And through you, life will never be the same anymore. I love you. You are my hero.
name is Nyaradzai Gumbondrandra with Rosaria Memorial Trust. We are really excited to be a member of Connecther as a project partner and to celebrate the International Day of the Girl 2020.
I am Shanti Shara, a manager of a local organization in Democratic Republic of Congo named Génération Épanoui.
Hello, my name is Nikenya Wilson and I am the Executive Director of Black Mamas ATX.
Hello, good morning. My name is Edna Adat Ismail and I'm sending you this message from Hargeisa, Somaliland, from my hospital, the Edna Adam Hospital in Hargeisa.
Hi, my name is Mimi Stiles and I get to be the president and the founder of Measure. Measure is a research and public education organization that believes in people of color owning their own data and the subsequent narrative.
And we've been working with Connecther not only to respond to COVID-19, to provide emergency shelter to girls who have experienced child marriage, sexual abuse, but also to provide space for girls through our Nanga, a community initiative, a cultural innovation where girls come together to grow their own leadership, to be mentored, and at the same time to transform their own families on issues which they care for.
Black Mamas ATX is a nonprofit founded in 2018 in Austin, Texas. We are Black women-led and centered, and our mission is to ensure that Black women survive and thrive before, during, and after childbirth.
We have some incredible programs that we're so happy that Connecther has got behind to support over the last year. One of those programs is called the Innocence Initiative. You know, back in 2017, Georgetown University released a report that showed how Black girls are looked at as less innocent, as needing less comfort. And so what we've done is that we've created a collaborative to fight back against adultification bias within Central Texas. And so what that looks like is a multifaceted approach. We are training defense attorneys to understand what adultification bias looks like. We are putting together policy briefs for school changes, school policy changes, local government policy changes, as well as state changes to protect Black girls.
In 2016, I had a traumatic birth experience and it changed me forever. Even though my son and I survived, I left that experience realizing that I had to be the change that I wished to see. I wanted to make sure that no other Black woman had to face death in order to bring life into this world. There are many people who do meaningful work that is deeply personal, but I personally believe that investing in women leaders who are from the communities that they serve is invaluable.
And there's many a poor woman in my country, Somaliland, today, who was given a no-cost cesarean section when she needed it most, when her baby needed it most, because at the last minute, the time of delivery, the baby was not coming out, the mother was having difficulties, and with the support from Connecther, we've been able to give her totally free anesthesia, free operation, free cesarean section. And I say aloud and clear, thank you, Connecther, for your support.
Girls will grow up feeling capable, empowered, willed to break boundaries and blaze trails. Likewise, boys will grow up to be men who hold space for women's voice and choice. In a future such as this, women will be valued more, paid more, and be at the center of global solutions to the world's biggest problems.
Respect the innovations that are happening in communities. Let's scale up those innovations. Let's create space and opportunities for girls, especially those who live, work, and experience life in rural areas. They are not a statistic, they are a solution. International Women's Day, International Day of the Girl 2020 demands of us to end child marriage, promote education. It's about health and it's about our future.
It is critical that we proactively work to center the voices of Black women and girls. Malcolm X was once quoted saying, "The most disrespected person in America is the Black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the Black woman. The most neglected person in America is the Black woman." And in 2020, it rings true when we hear stories of women like Serena Williams, who was ignored when she complained of pain after delivering her daughter. Or watch the commentary around our first Black female vice presidential candidate, Kamala Harris, and in the absence of justice for women like Breonna Taylor. When we center voices of Black women and girls, we intentionally create a space where their needs, ideas, gifts, and experiences are heard and honored. Connecther is proud to amplify the voices of Black women and girls, their experiences, and their stories through film.
Today, the International Day of the Girl is being commemorated everywhere, and it needs to be commemorated every day of the year. Girls should not have just one day. Women should not just have one day. 365 days of the year are days that God has given us and given to all humanity.